What's up, guys? It's your boy Ruben, and you know what it is. New week, new video. And it's a tough Monday. Tough Monday. Jacksonville Jaguars have pissed me off to a level that I'm sure you guys can understand if you're a Jacksonville fan. Duval County, they've all been completely let down. And I want to count some of the ways that I'm disappointed with everything that's happened this season. The way this season ended required heads to roll. And as we speak, the Jacksonville Jaguars have let go of Mike Caldwell. And it says some staff. I don't know what that means, or I'm pretty sure it just means like the entire defensive staff has been let go. Now, that was one way to go. Now, when we hired Doug Peterson, I had reservations about not Doug Peterson himself, but I've talked about how I don't particularly have a fondness for offensive minded head coaches. I prefer defensive minded head coaches. And the reason for that is because when I walk off the bus with that team, I know a couple things usually with defensive minded head coaches. That team should be tough. That team should be ready to hit. That team will pay attention to some of the small details and not shoot themselves in the face, not the foot, the face, the way we do. When you need 1 yard, they're gonna make sure you slam it in there and not try to get too cute as frequently as the offensive minded coach does. And we do a lot of the things that, as I stated, irk me when you have an offensive minded head coach. Now, it's on the defensive coordinator, of course. And we were in a unique situation in that, okay, Doug Peterson came in. That is an NFL Super Bowl winning coach. I can get behind that. But we went with a linebackers coach from Tampa Bay, implemented an entire new system Jacksonville's never ran, which is fine because we basically had a whole new defense implemented in terms of personnel, right? We had a draft. We added so many brand new pieces. And the sad thing about having to let Mike Caldwell go is theoretically he should have grew with the defense. And technically, I'm glad. I hate to see. I felt like, for all intents and purposes, Mike Caldwell was a good guy. I thought he had potential because this attacking 3-4 scheme was problematic. We did do a lot of exotic kinds of blitzes that certain teams had issues with, and I would have liked to have seen that grow. But the problem ultimately is a couple of things. Would you consider our team tough? Because outside of a few hits from our safety, Cisco, I don't see too many tough guys on the team. I have no doubt that Trayvon Walker's a tough guy. All he does is bull rush and show feats of strength. I have no doubt Josh Allen's a tough guy. And as much as I like Foye Oluokun and Devin Lloyd, they're kind of on the smaller side from your typical linebackers. Devin Lloyd's closer to your bigger, type of linebackers, but he's still under 240 when he was drafted. And with that being said, when you have those kind of linebackers, you need to make sure that you got big hogs in the trench to make sure that blocks are kept off of them so that they can do what they do. So defensive personnel really let us down. Defensive coordinator really let us down. And ultimately, Trent fucking Baalke let us down. And the reason he let us down because a lot of y'all think, hey, we need more pass rush. And you know what? I'm not going to knock you for that. I get what you're saying in theory, but you know what would have helped this entire defense is a defensive tackle that could actually get upfield and cause some havoc. Watch how much it changes an entire defense. When you have two guys that combine for over 27 sacks, all you needed was the interior push, and watch how it changes the defense. It'll make the corners better. We're going to be more prolific as an entire team when it comes to controlling the line of scrimmage and bigger plays. And it makes the secondary better, as you all should know. We started the season 8-3. And I just wanted to talk about the defense, obviously, to start the video. But now let's talk about the offense. And my number one chief complaint, it ain't what y'all think. At least I don't think it's what you think, because a lot of you guys are complaining about Press Taylor. And while I'm not enamored with Press Taylor, as far as I can see, we were running the same playbook we've always ran. That is Doug Peterson's playbook. The problem was obviously the play calling. So it's hard for me to call for Press's job when he's calling Doug Peterson's plays, and the issue isn't necessarily Press's implementation or philosophy. The issue was sometimes we got way too cute. Short yardage situations, we were terrible. And what I would like to see is Doug take the reins back from him. I don't want to see Press calling plays. He can remain the offensive coordinator where you're creating game plans, helping create game plans, sitting with Trevor Lawrence, schooling him, helping progress. Those are the kind of things I want to see from the offensive coordinator. But play calling, he better never touch a play call ever. He might not even be able to suggest it at this point if I were them. Now, with that being said, I don't know what Doug's going to do. I don't know if you don't fire Press Taylor, how you just take the play calling from him. That's kind of a rough sell. So it'll be interesting to see what we do throughout the season. But I can't believe Doug Peterson, after 1 year, ceded play calling. That was the biggest thing about Doug Peterson, was he was a masterful play caller. Now, he had a penchant for getting too cute as well, but for the most part, in the passing game, he knew how to scheme some shit. So, I'm cursing a lot. I'm sorry, guys, but I think I'm expressing the amount of rage that a lot of us have. Ultimately, I am worried about the future. I keep telling y'all this Trent Baalke video is going to come, but I'm just going to ruin a lot of what's going to happen in that Trent Baalke video and try to make this one sweet. I don't like the way he's prepared the team for the future, set us up for the future. You have an entire draft class of people you might have to sign. Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Tyson Campbell, Andre Sisco, Walker Little, just to name a few, right? And when you, in his first free agent signing class, Christian Kirk, Foye Oluokun, Fadukasi, those guys, Brandon Scherf. The problem I have with them is he restructured all of them, which makes them hard to cut. Now, I'm not saying you need to cut them all, but we have to make some serious cap calls on some people. And it doesn't look like they're going to be the ones that are X'd out. Now, when we signed Calvin Ridley, I said it was such a Jaguars thing to do, because while I did like Calvin Ridley, I knew there was a certain amount of risk. We do take a lot of low risk, high reward type of deals with people, which is not so bad. But just once you kind of want to see them take the big swing for the guy, right? It was just such a Jaguar thing to do. And now we're stuck with the decision of what to do with them. He had a decent year, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, but he never showed us he was the number one wide receiver that we were hoping he would be, right? Which I personally think he has. Let me rephrase, because I don't want to say he's the number one. I think he's good enough to be a number one. Not the kind of number one you guys think. I think he could possibly be a tier below, like an Amari Cooper. I've always compared him to a more like a homeless man's Amari Cooper. He's not going to be Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson. I never expected that of him, okay? But I expected great route running, which I think he is. And you wouldn't tell, because our offensive line never gave time for our ex receiver to get upfield and show some things. He didn't make some tough catches that you expected from a number one, right? But I'm gonna tell you this: why did it seem like Calvin Ridley seemed to look better with C.J. Beathard? And as I said, C.J. Beathard is the kind of quarterback that's gonna give your wide receiver a shot. It might end up in some interceptions, but he's going to let your guy have a shot. And Calvin Ridley produced with C.J. Beathard. He had a fairly decent game this game. Trevor Lawrence regressed, guys. Now, I'm not ready to jump off the whole bandwagon that you guys are with Trevor Lawrence, but he's definitely on notice with me. And what I think you guys want to think about and consider is, where do we go from here? Right? So with him at quarterback, my issue with him at quarterback is I feel like the offense was made so simple, stupid, that he's not reading defenses the way he needs to read them. Right? Once we lost Christian Kirk, he lost the easy passes that are in the middle of the field and things like that, and he didn't know what to do. He could never find Calvin Ridley beyond 10 yards at all. CJ Beathard didn't have that problem. That's all I got for now, guys. I just wanted to vent, let you guys know I'm here. I expect to see great things, but now that we've let our defensive coordinator go, I want to see us go to a 4-3 so bad that I can taste it. I can't even express it to you guys. I don't think that we drafted players and signed players that fit the 3-4 scheme that we currently run. If we do, Wink Martindale just resigned. If we're going to stick with the 3-4. If not, gotta keep an eye on. Antonio Pierce, the Raiders head coach, current interim head coach. If he doesn't get that job, chances are he's not going to stay. I'd love to hire him as a defensive coordinator. I bet you will be a tougher team. I'd like to see the team go to a 4-3. Some combination of Devin Lloyd or Fourier and middle linebacker or weak side would make a lot of sense. You might you bring in Chad Muma. Now we actually get some value from that guy, and then put Trayvon Walker at the big defensive end position and Josh Allen back on the other. And now we're cooking with something. All right. Now we got 4 down linemen. Now we don't get so cute with the blitz, leaving holes wide open. We got to figure out the safety situation. We got to get a number 1 corner in here. I like Tyson Campbell a lot, and I think he's a fringe number 1 corner? Yes, I do. But I never thought he was a Jalen Ramsey, like that kind of corner. So let's see what happens. Let me know what y'all think. All right, guys? That's all I got for now. Hit your boy up in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Peace.